Hey guys, yeah, my grass is really brown and bad right now. I diverted some of our sprinkler into drip, so I'm going to address that at another date. So ignore the dead grass, but I did want to take a minute just to explain some of the flowers in our backyard here. This is really all new. Some of these were planted last season, but the crepe myrtle, there's 3 here, are brand new for spring, as well as the euonymus and the gara and a couple of other things. But I just really kind of wanted to show you guys what my thinking is in this whole thing. So the vinyl fence, that went up a couple years back. We did have a wood fence, which honestly I prefer, but as far as maintenance is concerned, it was just becoming a maintenance nightmare for us. We actually have one section that we're still gonna need to have replaced for our driveway, and that's coming in spring. But to get back to this, to kind of camouflage some of the vinylness and the shine from the fence, I really wanted to make some large groupings here and put some trellises along the fence for some climbing interest. Also, I think it's important that you have things to look at in the winter time. So in this bed here, I've got a pot, and in the pot this is just one diamond frost euphorbia. Behind that, I've got one Colette climbing rose. So the plan is that will take off up this trellis and then spread out along the top as much as it, is capable to. These crepe myrtle I planted, as I said, this spring. And when I planted them, they were actually below, like they were right about where I'm pointing. So they put on all that growth from there up to there in just a couple of months. And this variety is called the Twilight Purple. And they will grow and bloom all season long until fall. It's kind of bright out here, so I apologize, but I kind of wanted to do this while I had the opportunity. I've got little quick fire hydrangea in the front here, and they bloom with the white flower, and then it turns to this like mauvey pink, which is kind of antique and really pretty looking, I think. So behind the crepe myrtle, I have sugar tip rose of Sharon with this nice variegated leaf on it and pretty ruffly double blooms. It's kind of close to the crepe myrtle, but I don't mind. I kind of want that thick, wild, cottagey look. And another thing I like to do as well, I tuck a lot of pots in. So in this pot here in the back, that's like an instant pop of color, and I can move that around if I want. That is a calendula, English marigold in yellow, and that also comes in orange as well. In the front here, these have already bloomed a couple times, so there's some spent blooms on it, but that's a snippet weigela, which stays on the smaller side, and it may get another flush of blooms. And then I have some gara here. This has been blooming really all season, and really the only thing I have in here that won't come back is the petunias here, and that's a morning glory charm, and they're just huge and beautiful. I've trimmed those a couple times already, but as far as winter interest and seasonal interest goes, I've got these boulevard cypress here, and they are really forgiving as far as pruning is concerned. I had some burn spots from last year before I put the drip in, and I pruned those out, and they bounced back really well. So you've got that for winter. You've got the pots, the snippet weigela, that's a repeat bloomer. Even in this little pot here, that's a campanula, and that will get, it's a perennial. So if I kept it in the pot, it may come back, but I don't know. I might put something more springy in there in the springtime. And then this is a gold splash euonymus. Again, that's an evergreen. So the gold splash will stay for winter interest. The boulevard cypress, you got your winter interest. This particular variety of crepe myrtle has like a peeling bark. So that'll be a nice feature. And then even the structures of the trellis, you have something to look at that isn't just blankness. And oh, speaking of that, I did plant maybe a month and a half ago diamond ball clematis on the 3 fan trellis I have here, and they've got just tons of growth all over. So hopefully we'll see some results from that real soon. And again, a pot here with allium, and then just a little pot of chives there, kind of to complement the allium. Sugar tip rose of Sharon with the twilight crepe myrtle. Again, the diamond ball clematis on this one. Another little quick fire. Here, Tuscan sun sunflower perennial in a nice pot there. And then what's nice too about the pot is, you know, I'm doing my fall planning for out front, and if I want, I can just pick that pot up and put it out on my front step, and I've got really, you know, an instant pop of fun fall feel then. And the Gora and the Gold Splash Euonymus. I kind of repeated that all the way down, but I tried to stagger it so that, you know, it was a thick mass as opposed to just a whole bunch of stuff in a row. So you can see, you know, it's kind of staggered, little interesting things tucked in here and there. And then just the petunias in the front form a nice little mound of color. Oh, and I did do the White Knight Sweet Alyssum here, which is really just taken off. I love that, and I'm definitely going to use that in more places in the coming years. I have that around our lamppost out front as well. Here, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I have some dinner plate dahlia, and they're all budded up and just getting ready to open any day now. It's been so hot here, guys, and so bright, and just, it's hard to get good color on anything. Good video on anything, I apologize. This is a Pugster Pink dwarf buddleia, butterfly bush. Wizard of Oz Veronica here, which I cut back. Some hardy geranium. I've got pink Gumfarina, couldn't remember the name for a second, which I really love a lot. I planted 4 of those, and they just got really thick and beautiful. I have a very sad looking black-eyed Susan in there that I transplanted. I don't think it's going to make it. A Pugster Blue in the pot right there. I've got some Nepeta under the cage here. Got that from Gardener Supply. I did do a plant swap in this little basket I have. I have the White Knight Sweet Alyssum and some doublet, I'm not sure the exact name, Proven Winter Super Bells. And then I just trimmed this back, and it's not looking its best. It's getting really sun warm, the Creeping Jenny, with a Sprinter boxwood. And then I just put some fresh petunias in here. These are by Proven Selections, and they were Shorfina Red, I think is the name. And then here's a couple saffron Super Bells I popped in yesterday from the plants I picked up at Lowe's, and pink geranium. You've got the Rock and Play and the Blue Salvia, which is one of my favorite annuals ever. Behind that I've got Limelight Hydrangea, you can see coming up there. And then another Tuscan Sun sunflower. Along the back fence I have Zephrine Climbing Roses, and in between the trellis I have White Pillar Rose of Sharon. And I did see a bloom on there, so let me walk over and show you real quick. Oop, try not to kick my stuff over. So I do have one beautiful bloom going on there. And it's tough because this space here is really tight because I've got the boys' play set. If I swing around, I've got a yucca, color guard yucca in the center of this that kind of got eaten up by the petunias in the pot. So I'll probably plant something different. I've got sedum here, and I'm going to swing around here. This is my boys' play yard, swing. It's big, but that's okay. But I'm left with not a lot of space then behind it. And again, I'm trying to camouflage that wall that is going on there. Hostas, two Super Tunia bubble gum in there. Happy Jack Clematis on the side trellis here. That one I had to clip down a bit. It had some issues, but I do see that it's coming back. You can see some growth coming on here. And that should cover the whole trellis, just like this one. Probably not this year, next year. I've got an Anna's Magic Ball Arbovita here, and the Creeping Jenny around it again. And again, those are perennial as well, the Creeping Jenny. I've got a Show Off Sugar Baby Forsythia. That's new for this year. A bunch of the Sweet Romance Lavender. Gerber Daisy. I've got, what are these? Jude the Obscure Roses, I apologize. So the idea is, you know, I really want to have like a nice row against the fence of the Jude the Obscure kind of meshed into each other and growing through the pickets. Our driveway is right on the other side. So I really want to soften that up. And then I've got the Sweet Romance Lavender in the front, which is doing really, really good. This is the second year. And I'm going to fill in some spots next year. And just, you know, a little container here with the lemon coral sedum. This is a limelight, a little lime, I apologize, little lime hydrangea. And then we just put the gate up here with this planter. Looks so pretty. And another little lime here. This little lime is a lot bigger than the other one. I think this is Popstar sedum. I'm not sure the exact variety. And I just put some euphorbia and some lobelia in the little spirals here by the back door. I'll just back up and show you there. We've got our window boxes. Doing a little cleanup. The boys were doing some sidewalk chalk on the patio earlier. An At Last Rose in that pot right there. But I'm also going to show you, because I do plan on working on this next year, just what we've got going on here. This is a really not great area. It is overgrown with ivy, and those are forsythia that are way too huge for that spot. So they'll be coming out. We had arbovita all around, all down the line here too, but with such a small space, it was encroaching when we would go to open up the corridor. Giant hosta there that's really pretty, so I will pop that out and move it somewhere. But we're going to have, you know, a continuation, and another vinyl fence put along the side there, and then next year not have any tall shrubs that will, you know, cause a problem for us when we're getting in and out of the car. We are working on a tight, you know, space here, but I might put a couple pots in a row, or even repeat the fan trellis look with clematis or roses, something against the fence. In a dream, I'd have espalier apple trees, but, you know, I don't know that that'll happen. And here's the boys' play yard here. And I just added that little banner to the top this year because I thought it was really cute. And that's really it. We've got the one-car garage. Swing around here. I just put that little bench area in, which I love, and the little bubbler there. Got the shed. And the birdhouse, the birdie just flew in there. And let's see. And that's everything, really. I got the little raised veggie area here. Some zinnia and cucumbers and some ambrosia melon growing on the vine there. You can see that. And some tomatoes in a little galvanized pot here. And then I just put all my plants that I picked up the other day there. I need to get some shelving or something so that they're not just sitting on the ground. But we have our barbecue over here too. And it's really not a good spot for it. I mean, it's great because it's right off the patio, but For me, I see this as potential for like another raised bed with some more veggies, maybe put some trellis along the top of the shed here and have something climbing up that and against the house here. This is our family room. We had this put on 6 years ago about. And Dichondra silver falls in this basket. As you can see, it really, I mean, it's touching the ground. It's just beautiful. I love it. And sun patience in the center. I have Eden roses climbing up this trellis here. Bright Eyes Phlox, Lucky Charm. I've got some English boxwood there. These are window boxes, geraniums, Supertunia bacopa, and pot of Daisy May Shasta daisies. Some English ivy there in the pot. A little thing of moss. I'd love to have a yard just covered in moss like that with really no grass. But that's it really. That's our small yard in New Jersey. And I have some plans for out front too, to create a couple other beds by our front steps. So I will post a video at that time. And I hope you enjoy seeing all the progress and all the different plants.